Accessed exclusive detail of the ED's Mallya dossier. Moneycontrol's Gaurav Choudhury is with us. Shireen also joins us to take us to the big exclusive news. Shireen, over to you.
Well, thanks very much, Gaurav. Thanks very much for joining us. Let me ask you to take us through the details of the dossier prepared by the Enforcement Directorate. And at the outset, I want to point out that these are allegations or charges that the Enforcement Directorate is levelling. I'm sure that these will be contested by Vijay Mallya vociferously in the UK courts as this matter is taken up as part of the extradition process. Gaurav, the details that the ED has put together, it claims it has a watertight case.
Yeah, what the ED has said is that it has gathered evidence that Mallya and Kingfisher Airlines has funneled more than 3,200 crore worth of funds between 2007 and 2012. Essentially, these were all bank loans raised from a consortium of banks, 14 banks, which was led by SBI. Most of this money was funneled through, and payments were made through instruments of like letters of credit through SBI, Punjab National Bank, Axis Bank, and later IDBI Bank Limited. According to sources in the ED, we gather that when pressed for supporting documents, the company, Kingfisher Airlines, and the promoter, Vijay Mallya, was not able to give any appropriate documents on why these payments were made. The only reason they gave was that these payments were made for payments like aircraft lease services and rental payments. However, the Enforcement Directorate says that these were not quite true, and they have conclusive evidence to say that these were made through dummy companies, most of which were promoted by Mr. Mallya himself. We also know that the 950 crore loan given by IDBI Bank in 2009 has come under serious question, especially for lack of due diligence by the bank. The bank gave out a loan of 950 crore based on a Kingfisher brand valuation of 3,400 crore made by Grant Thornton. The Enforcement Directorate and the CBI has now made a case that this brand valuation is questionable, given the fact that Grant Thornton had given 3 different brand valuations at 3 different times, submitted it in 3 different reports, submitted over a period of 2-3 years. And that is the reason the bank should have independently verified the brand valuation of Kingfisher before extending 950 crore loans. To top it, of this 950 crore, half of it, about 423 crore, according to ED sources, was siphoned off through dummy companies, for which the company has not been able to provide any supporting documents. Importantly, as late as February 25, 2016, which is exactly a week before he allegedly left India on March 2nd, Mallya received $40 million from Diageo as part of the $75 million settlement. And this $40 million, the transaction happened overseas, and Mallya, when pressed for charges for reasons of why this transaction happened overseas, in an affidavit in November, acknowledged that he had made this payment as a gift to his 3 children, Siddharth, Leena, and Tanya Mallya, all of whom are US citizens, and he has, through 3 respective trusts, over whom he has no control in an individual capacity. Shireen?
Okay, so that's as far as the deal with Diageo is concerned. But Gaurav, this will now be, of course, tried in the UK court, where this matter is currently being heard. The next hearing is on the 17th of the month. But just on the severance issue, I mean, the fact that this was a deal that was done outside of India, and the fact that he has decided to now give 40 million to his 3 children who happen to be US citizens, what is the impropriety there that the Enforcement Directorate has found?
So the Indian government is trying to build a case where the assets sold were Indian, and clearly you cannot make a case of receiving money for a transaction of an Indian asset overseas and claim that you have made a gift to your 3 children through non-profit trusts over which you have no control as an individual. And so the government says that this is a clear case of money laundering, and they press charges under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Remember one thing, that in Indian laws it is very difficult to arrest a person if he has defaulted on standard bank loans. Only on charges of money laundering can an arrest be made. That is why the government is building a case clearly on grounds of money laundering, that he has funneled money through illegal means without making proper disclosures, and $40 million gifted to his children is part of a broader strategy. Shirin.
Gaurav Choudhury, appreciate you joining us. That is the big Moneycontrol exclusive. Gaurav Choudhury accessing the dossier that's been put together by the Enforcement Directorate. And as you just heard, Gaurav, that's going to be the argument that the Indian authorities will present during the extradition process to try and get Vijay Mallya back. Question now is, will this stand the test of law when this is heard by the UK authorities? Well, Arundhati, for now, it's back to you.
All right, Shirin, thank you so much for taking us through those details. And a day after Vijay